In this video, we will talk about the top 10 mid-sized CRMs in 2025. So let's dive right in. Hello everyone, my name is Sam Gupta. I'm principal at ElevatIQ. ElevatIQ is the independent, vendor-agnostic technology advisory firm. We help our clients with digital transformation strategy, system selection, as well as change management. On that note, let's go back to today's topic, which is the top 10 mid-sized CRMs in 2025. Before we look at the list, let's define how we look at mid-sized market segment. Generally, if you have been following our list as well as quadrants, we segment this in 4 different buckets. Number 1 bucket is startup, the second is small, the third is mid-sized, and the fourth is large. So as far as the scope of mid-sized CRMs go, we are looking at the revenue segment of anywhere from roughly 100 to 5,000 employees. The revenue segment could be anywhere from roughly 100 million to a billion in revenue. So that's how big the mid-sized segment is for us. Some of the CRM vendors might feel that that's probably bigger, that's probably enterprise. But as far as our scope goes, we define this in this particular market segment. The needs for this market is going to be uniquely different than other market segments when you compare this with startup, small business, or large. In this case, you are going to be a lot more consolidated. You are going to require a lot more workflow security planning just because your team size is going to be much bigger compared to your startup small, but you're not going to require as much global compliance, global consolidation as you would require in the large segment. So these are going to be some of the considerations based on which the products targeted for this particular market segment are designed. The criteria that we have used to compile this list is product share, acquisition strategy focused on this particular category, product roadmap, community, ecosystem, win rate, technology strategy, as well as investors. So now let's look at the list. Number 10 on our list is Keep. And Keep is a relatively smaller platform compared to the other platforms that we have on this list, even though we have positioned Keep on this particular quadrant for mid-sized companies. This is going to be relevant for mid-sized companies. Either they are going to be in their target market segment, which is, let's say, travel agencies, etc., or franchise-centric businesses. So either you are going to be in those industry verticals, or you are going to be very limited in terms of your implementation budget. If you have that, then Keep could be a great fit. But again, you are going to run into a lot of different constraints because mid-market companies do have very detailed need for their processes. So you might want to think before looking at Keep for your mid-market segment. Some strengths to keep in mind is HIPAA compliance, workflows, as well as building complex funnels. So it does have better capabilities compared to other beginner CRMs. But again, for mid-market segment, this might be slightly smaller. Some limitations to keep in mind: limited capabilities for territory planning. And in this particular market segment, you are going to have very detailed territory needs because your sales team is going to be bigger, marketing team is going to be bigger, and you are going to have alignment needs, etc. If you have those needs, then Keep may not be the best fit. Limited sales comp capabilities. So again, when you look at these capabilities from the sales comp perspective, they are going to be in slightly bigger platforms, and Keep is not necessarily designed for that. That's why it does not have those capabilities. And overall, the workflow as well as security needs, if you have those as detailed, even platforms such as HubSpot capture only 3 layers of security or hierarchy. So Keep is going to be even more limited. So that's Keep, and that's number 10. Number 9 on our list is Zendesk Sell. Even Zendesk Sell is a very small platform. It's going to be bigger than Keep, but overall, it's a very small platform, and it may be limited for the mid-market segment. Some of these trends to keep in mind from the Zendesk Sell perspective is the interface is intuitive. It uses the same base platform as they use for Zendesk service. So that's a huge plus for the mid-market companies if they want to customize any sort of processes, if they have any sort of workflow automation-centric needs, because you do have that platform underneath Zendesk Sell platform. Some limitations to keep in mind, the marketing automation capabilities are going to be weaker. The territory planning capabilities are weaker as well, just because the whole CRM product was basic, designed for slightly more startup and a small segment. If you are going to be limited in budget, then Zendesk Sell could be a great fit. Or if you are going to be on Zendesk service product, then you could make a case for Zendesk Sell product. But in general, it's smaller for mid-market centric businesses. And then again, the same limitations that we discussed with Keep, meaning your sales comp capabilities are going to be limited. So that's number 9. Number 8 on our list is ActiveCampaign. An ActiveCampaign, for the most part, even though we are positioning this as a CRM, ActiveCampaign is a marketing automation product. It does have some CRM capabilities, but for the most part, the way its data model as well as the process model is designed, it's going to be fairly limited for the core operational CRM as well as transactional processes. If you are going to be heavy in your downstream sales processes where you need far deeper capabilities for your territory alignment, sales comp, etc., then ActiveCampaign is probably not going to be a great fit. But if you are upstream heavy, marketing heavy, in those cases, ActiveCampaign could be a great fit. Sometimes companies use ActiveCampaign in conjunction with Salesforce or Microsoft, and that could be a great combination, just because ActiveCampaign, you are going to get deeper capabilities from the marketing automation perspective, and integrating the marketing automation product with CRM is not as heavy as integrating some of those transactional workflows in operational centric platforms. So generally, this combination is not as bad. Some other strengths to keep in mind, overall, the community enablement as well as the engagement tracking, CRM plus marketing automation. So that's a huge plus. And cost of sending bulk emails, even though they have increased their price, but they are still very affordable. So that's a huge plus, especially for mid-market companies that are going to have large contact list, and then you are going to have frequent touches as well. The other strength is B2B plus B2C. Both capabilities exist with ActiveCampaign platform. So those are some of these strengths. Now, limitations to keep in mind. The CRM layer for B2B businesses is limited. Limited capabilities for territory planning as well as sales comp capabilities are going to be limited as well. So that's number 8. Number 7 on our list is Creatio. And Creatio is slightly better fit for the mid-market segment. And the reason for that is because it does capture a low-code, no-code platform as part of the platform, especially if you are going to be in segments such as your financial services, not-for-profit, utilities. In those segments, you have a lot more customized workflows that you are going to require. You are going to have deeper field services needs, the kind of forms and workflows that you are going to implement for your field reps, etc., differs substantially across these verticals. And for those use cases, Creatio is a better fit, just because it allows that custom component and low-code, no-code component as part of their CRM workflow. Some other strengths to keep in mind is integration and ecosystem. They do have their integration and ecosystem developed. They have a great partner channel, but at the same time, their ecosystem is not going to be as developed as Salesforce or HubSpot. The deployment flexibility is also a huge plus. If you are going for SaaS, then you are probably not going to have that, but they do have an option. Let's say if you don't want to go for that, you're limited in terms of your budget. Limitations to keep in mind: expensive, clunky UI, even though they have come a long way in improving their UI. Now it looks very modern, but you might want to check whether you are comfortable with that. Some of these screens may not be modernized, and marketing automation may not be as intuitive as other marketing automation platforms. So that's number 7. Number 6 on our list is Sugar CRM. And Sugar CRM is ideal for mid-market companies in the industrial segment, especially the companies that are going to be heavier on ERPs, and these are going to be manufacturing, distribution, etc. Generally, the need for these companies are very different. They don't necessarily care for as much marketing automation workflows. Upstream marketing, they care for data exchange between their CPQ component as well as their ERP system, the way their estimation quoting processes are going to be designed. If they are going to be decoupled, if you want to host them as part of your CRM layer, then Sugar CRM could be a great fit. Sugar CRM also has some other unique elements, especially if you are going to be subscription centric business or you are going to have project centric processes that are aligned with your CRM component. Then Sugar CRM features all of those. Then Sugar CRM has far detailed security and workflow engine, which is far more relevant for mid-market organizations. And that's why Sugar CRM is a great fit for these companies. Some limitations to keep in mind: issues around their stability. So you might want to check the forums, read reviews before making that decision. Integration and ecosystem is not developed, even though they are putting a lot of effort in developing their ecosystem as well as integration. Especially their ecosystem is going to be far more developed towards industrial companies. If you find ERP integration, etc., they might not be available even with some of the mainstream CRM products, but they are definitely available with Sugar CRM. So depending upon the industry, depending upon the use case, Sugar CRM could be a great fit for those industrial centric verticals. And then marketing automation is probably going to be limited as well. So that's number 6. Now, number 5 on our list is Pipedrive CRM. In Pipedrive CRM, overall, slightly smaller product. When you look at the needs of mid-market segment, that is going to have much deeper need for territory planning, sales comp, etc. For those needs, Pipedrive may not be as detailed as what mid-market companies are going to require. But overall, if you are going to be limited on budget and implementation, then Pipedrive CRM could provide an easy platform that can be adopted easily. Now, some strengths to keep in mind: overall, it does have workflow automation. Workflow automation engine may not be as detailed, may not have as deep capabilities as what you are going to find with the likes of HubSpot. The look and feel, especially if you are either transitioning from HubSpot or your users have used HubSpot before, the look and feel is very similar to HubSpot. So users may not face as much transition when they might migrate to Pipedrive. And easy customization and reporting, goal setting, etc. Those features are there. So those are some of the strengths. Limitations to keep in mind: overall, the data structure is not as detailed. The data export as well as export functionality, data import and export functionality is limited as well, and limited customizability. You have already mentioned that. So that's number 5. Number 4 on our list is HubSpot CRM. And HubSpot CRM is relatively larger compared to your Pipedrive CRM overall in terms of size, the kind of functionality it is going to have. In terms of alignment, it's probably similar to ActiveCampaign. HubSpot CRM does far better for marketing automation centric scenarios. It does not do as well for the operational centric scenarios. And for the mid-market organizations, their operational needs are going to be far bigger because team size is bigger. Now you are going to have different territories. So you need to align all of that. For those use cases, HubSpot CRM may not be as strong. And for that reason, just as with ActiveCampaign, HubSpot CRM is also used with several other operational CRMs, just because HubSpot CRM is going to provide integration, omnichannel tracking with website, etc. that may not be as detailed with or as easy to implement with the likes of Zoho CRM, Microsoft, or Salesforce. So HubSpot is used with Zoho, Microsoft, or Salesforce in conjunction with that. So you might want to consider that as an option if you're looking for slightly more best of breed scenarios. Some instance to keep in mind: one tool to centralize all of your customer channels. If you are trying to streamline all of your experience in one platform, then HubSpot may be a great fit. Ecosystem and integration, especially for the marketing centric use cases, their ecosystem is very well developed. It is probably the first platform that companies integrate. Whether you talk about ABM platforms or data centric platforms, they all integrate with HubSpot compared to some of the other platforms where those integrations might not exist, and then you need to develop those those integrations yourself. Limitations to keep in mind: data model again is not as friendly for the mid-market organizations. For the most part, the mid-market organizations are going to have slightly richer, detailed need. For that, HubSpot CRM is not necessarily suitable. Customizability is going to be limited as well, and limited capabilities for territory planning and sales comp. So that's number 4. Number 3 on our list is Zoho CRM. And Zoho is going to be far richer for operational use cases. For mid-market organizations, they are going to have much detailed need for those operational use cases. Sometimes Zoho CRM can be used with other best-of-breed marketing automation platforms if you need that. But if your need is going to be slightly operational in nature, then Zoho CRM is going to provide very detailed operational workflows as well as process workflows that are going to be very similar to Salesforce, Microsoft, even though it is not going to be as detailed as those. They are slightly more enterprise-grade platforms, and that's what Zoho CRM is probably ideally suited for mid-market. And the reason for that is because it's not going to have as much complexity, consulting budget that you are going to require with Salesforce or Microsoft, but it is still going to have a lot of features that you can utilize for your mid-market organization. Some other strengths to keep in mind is great capabilities for overall sales comp planning as well as territory planning. The kind of limitations that you are going to have with HubSpot or Pipedrive, they are not going to be there with Zoho CRM. And integration with other Zoho apps, so it's far more integrated with other Zoho apps. As long as you can replace all of that, then this is a great platform. But let's say if you want to go outside of Zoho, that's where you are probably going to run into challenges. And Zoho CRM is very well detailed, so it may require consulting help for implementation. So that's number 3. Number 2 on our list is Microsoft Dynamics 365 CE. And sometimes, now that is called Microsoft Dynamics Apps, and they keep changing their name. So they have 3 or 4 different products that are going to be part of that CRM bucket. They have customer insights, they have the sales engine, and generally Microsoft's approach is going to be that you utilize many different apps from Microsoft ecosystem, the way Zoho is approaching the market. But for the most part, Microsoft CRM is very well adopted, especially for operational centric use cases, especially for some of the industries where you are going to have either field service centric needs. It does have very detailed field service centric module. It has call center centric module. And then you also have event, especially if you're going to have very deep operational needs for your event management, not marketing centric, operational centric. If you have that, then Microsoft Dynamics 365 CE works really. It is also one of the most customizable platform. And again, you need to go into the code to be able to customize. So you'll require a lot more development consulting help compared to Zoho CRM, which can be done in the low code, no code fashion. So with Microsoft Dynamics, you are going to have Power Platform that can be done in low code, no code. But depending upon what you are trying to customize, you are going to have limitations with your Power Platform as well, just as with Zoho CRM. But for the most part, Microsoft Dynamics is very enterprise grade platform. So sometimes that could be overwhelming for mid-market centric organizations. That could be expensive as well. So that's number 2. Number 1 on our list is Salesforce, and Salesforce is still one of the most adopted platform, and it is going to be very enterprise grade, just like your Microsoft. And it's far deeper from the operational use cases perspective. And most of the mid-market organizations are probably going to require those operational capabilities from the sales territory, compensation planning, etc. When you have to design all of that, Salesforce is a great platform. Overall, the limitations that you are going to have with Salesforce are going to be very similar with Microsoft as well. The data model is very detailed, enterprise grade. You will require a lot more consulting help. Some people argue that Salesforce has become sort of legacy now, just because it has slightly more legacy feeling. They have their Lightning platform, which is modern and innovative, but it's not going to be as modern as some of the other platforms. If you compare this with HubSpot or Pipedrive, they come across as slightly more modern. So those could be some of the weaknesses, and that's number 1. So if you enjoyed this list, we are going to include a detailed report as well as an article. So you might want to check that. If you prefer audio form, this is also available on major podcasting platform. And if you have not checked our digital transformation report, we are going to include the link of that as well. On that note, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.